Hey everybody, it is your boy Roman, your favorite neighborhood Russian. How you guys doing today? Welcome to a brand new video. Today's video, guys, I'm going to be talking about some fashion brands, some streetwear brands in general that I don't love. I put I hate in the title to get more clicks, but in general, I just want to list a couple of brands with which I have a couple of pet peeves and some brands that I don't think would ever really fit into my style. Of course, this is always subject to change, you know, my style is always evolving, but for now, I feel like these are not something I really would wear. And before we really get into this video, I just want to give a disclaimer. If you guys like any of these brands, if you enjoy wearing any of these brands, I'm not calling you out, I'm not saying you're wrong or you have no taste or something like that. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. This is just the brands that I personally don't like as much, and I don't really see a place for them in my wardrobe and my style. So if you like these brands, there's nothing wrong with it. Please don't throw rocks at me, okay? Okay, so the first one I want to get into is probably the hottest take of this entire video, probably the reason why some of you clicked on this video. I am not a huge fan of OffWhite. In my closet, so I actually said that I hate OffWhite. I mean, I don't really hate it, but I don't like it either. You see, guys, with OffWhite, I feel like a lot of the clothes are pretty cool, but the only OffWhite clothes I like are the clothes that don't look like OffWhite. So here's what I'm talking about. You know, that entire aesthetic of like the yellow industrial belt that was hugely popular. You know, these hoodies with like the crosses in the back and like these diagonal lines on the sleeves and stuff like that. All of that crap. This is, I feel like, is just an aesthetic that screams like 2016, like high beast rice gum core to me, you know what I mean? You know, it's the same level of fashion as a Supreme box logo hoodie is, right? Skinny stag jeans, off-white belts, off-white Nike sneakers, which are fine, by the way. I actually like the off-white Nike sneakers, but you understand the kind of vibe I'm talking about here. That sort of high beast Fortnite gamer epic, high beast 2016 YouTuber core. I hate that shit. Like, I hate it so much. It's such a tired aesthetic. And the issue is that, like, most of what Off-White releases right now still looks like that. Like, they're still stuck in 2016, I feel like. But Off-White does have some cool pieces. They have some more like grown-up pieces now as well, which I do appreciate. I like where Off-White is heading. I feel like as a brand, it's kind of growing up out of this, you know, high beast look. So those items in which Off-White doesn't look like Off-White, I do like it. But everything else, like these tied hoodies, like honestly, guys, to me it kind of feels like wearing an Off-White hoodie with like the crosses in the back and like the sleeves, like the diagonal sleeves and stuff. It feels like to me like it's the equivalent of wearing a Minecraft creeper hoodie in 2020, okay? Now, kind of being in the same realm here from, you know, the Kanye creative director realm. Another brand I'm not crazy about is Heron Preston. I just don't really get it. Again, Heron Preston does have a lot of cool stuff, but the majority of their sweaters and like hoodies and stuff like that, I don't know, I feel like maybe it's just a style I've grown out of. Again, I'm not saying I will never have a Heron Preston item in my collection or something like that, but overall the designs are kind of not that interesting for the price you're paying. It's not because I think that, you know, Heron Preston using the Russian lettuce style still, you know, in his clothing is like cultural appropriation and I'm mad about that or something like that. No, I think that's fine. Although I do feel like he's just ripping off of Rubchinsky now and he's trying to, you know, get some of that because Rubchinsky is not a brand anymore. But yeah, Heron Preston I'm not crazy about. The brand I actually like from this, like, you know, Kanye creative director space is A Cold Wall. And also Alix. So Alix and A Cold Wall, I feel like they have a more of a grown-up sort of, I think Alix and A Cold Wall is what Off-White and Heron Preston would be in like 2 to 3 years, if that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, not crazy about Off-White or Heron Preston. Okay, so the next category I want to mention is clothing by rapists. You know where I'm going with this, probably if you're into fashion. I'm talking about Vlone, Sicko, Revenge X Storm, everything that has to do with Ian Connor, A$AP Bari. I don't know about you guys, but I'm personally not super interested in wearing clothing by convicted rapists, where the designer is a convicted rapist. Just saying, you know, and also it sucks ass. Like, I don't know, it's literally a meme. Like, Vlone is a meme. The same type of people who wear Vlone are the same type of people who I just described, you know, skinny jeans, Supreme Buggo hoodie, Off-White sneakers. Sicko and Vlone, it just looks like Gildan printed garbage. Like, it just, you know, not even counting the fact that I don't like Ian Connor. And Revenge X Storm is literally just an overpriced band. That's really it. So yeah, that entire group of brands, Sicko, Vlone, Revenge X Storm, I really am not a fan of. Now, the next brand I want to mention is Supreme. Again, it's one of these brands that I feel like actually does have some okay stuff. Again, I feel like I have the same kind of relationship with Supreme that I have with Off-White, is because I like Supreme items that don't look like Supreme. I don't have the Supreme name on them. I don't know, anything that has to do with like the Supreme logo, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm trying so hard to like sort of distance myself from that entire like high beast YouTuber community who wear Off-White belts in 2020, Supreme Buggo hoodies or whatever, but I don't know. something about Supreme I was never a fan of. It does feel to me like people that are only under the age of 18 really like Supreme. Like anybody above that age, I mean, not super interested in it. Supreme, not a huge fan, and again, because also it's associated with like the hypebeast culture, and it's basically a meme. It's literally known as like the clothing that hypebeast douchebags wear. I'm not saying that everybody who wears Supreme is a hypebeast douchebags, but it just has that reputation, so I don't know, Supreme, not a huge fan. Alright, so the next brand I want to mention is one of these brands that I look at and I'm like, who is this made for, and why is this brand, like, why does this exist, and how did this designer get a career? I'm talking about PhillipsPlain. PhillipsPlain is a French brand as far as I understand, and it's just the worst shit I've seen in my entire life. You know, it's one of these brands that I just, you know, when I'm looking through like Farfetch or whatever, I'm looking through the clothes, and I keep getting PhillipsPlain like throughout, and it's just like, it's one of these clothes that like I scroll by and I'm like always just completely, I'm in shock and in awe at the sheer ugliness of the clothes. Like, it's just horrible. Like, everything from PhillipsPlain literally looks like it's some garbage from like the early 2000s, and not good garbage from the early 2000s, because I know that kind of style is coming back. But this is not the way it should be coming back. Like, it's just insanely gaudy, it's insanely flashy, the fit on everything sucks ass. I mean, like, it's just terrible. There's really nothing for me to say here. PhillipsPlain is like, I don't know who would wear this. It's like, probably, I feel like the only people who would wear PhillipsPlain is like, you know, somebody like, if somebody like my stepdad, who has no idea about fashion, was like, yeah, I need to, you know, if he became rich or something, he'd be like, he'd walk into Saks Fifth Avenue or something, and he'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna pick out and look fashionable today, and he'd come out in a full PhillipsPlain dress because he has no style, right? I don't know why this video turned into me dissing my stepdad. I don't have any beef with my stepdad, he's just not into fashion, you know, and my real dad isn't either, you know? Not a lot of elderly men in Russia are. I just used him as an example. So like, it's the kind of clothing I feel like that a person with no style, no sense of what they want would pick out to look cool and rich. So yeah, PhillipsPlain sucks. Alright, so the next bunch of brands I want to mention is, I could have mentioned them with PhillipsPlain as well, but I decided to kind of put them in a different, you know, separate category as well. It's a category of brands that I would, I don't know how to describe them. I would describe them as like clothing for corrupt Russian politicians. Alright, so what I mean is, the brands included in this are Armani, Versace, and Dolce & Gabbana. Just, I don't get them, honestly. Let's cover it one by one. First of all is Armani. Armani, I feel like it's just boring as shit, like, and it's like, I understand the quality is probably decent, as far as I understand, like, Armani makes decent suits, so if you're like in the market for decent suits, I guess you could look at that. But as far as fashion goes, Armani just sucks. Like, you know, the only people who wear Armani in Russia are, like, once again, corrupt 40-year-old dudes, like corrupt politicians or something, and gopniks who try to look like they're rich, or people with no style, basically. Like, Armani, everything is just bad. Emporio Armani, Armani Exchange, that EA7 bullshit. It's so awful. When I hear of EA7 or Armani Exchange, I'm thinking of like Russian gopniks who like to smoke hookah and you know, ride around in ladas and bump their shitty rap. I don't know, Armani, I don't get it. I don't. Now with Versace, I don't feel like it's as one-sided, because once again, I do think Versace has some decent stuff. I'm not a fan of the overall aesthetic of the brands. Like, it all looks like it's way too flashy again. Like all these golden prints and everything, all these golden accents. Again, like a lot of people who wear Versace, I do feel like Versace is a brand that could be styled properly, and of course, you know, the brand, there is something to it, right? There's a reason why it's popular, why it exists, but a lot of the people, again, that you see wearing Versace, they just throw the most random shit together. They try to look, you know, cool with like the gold jewelry and gold shit all on their clothes, and where they wear these awful chain reaction sneakers. Those are fucking vile. Like, actually, I hate them so much. You know, it's like the shit 6ix9ine wears. You know, 6ix9ine is not exactly the guy I think is the most fashionable of all time, right? But again, I do feel like Versace does have some decent clothing as well. So again, I guess I like Versace that doesn't look like Versace. And Dolce & Gabbana, again, I think it's kind of like very much similar to Armani or Versace. Just, it's crap. Like, I don't know, anything they make is like, you know, it's literally people who wear this have no style. Like, I've never seen any person online either who, like, I actually follow whose style I'm interested in, wear Dolce & Gabbana. People wear Gucci. I like Gucci, okay? I think Gucci has a lot of interesting pieces. Gucci gets a lot of hate because it's like literally one of the biggest fashion brands out there, and it's very expensive. I don't own any Gucci personally. I'd like to, but I feel like Gucci has such a sick aesthetic, and a lot of their pieces are just incredible. And Gucci have some sort of refined aesthetic to it. You can look horrible if you dress in Gucci, if you just, you know, putting everything on and trying to look rich. But if you, you know, if you add some taste to it, if you style it right, it can look incredible. Dolce & Gabbana though, I don't know. I don't get it. I think it sucks ass. Like everything from their clothes, their shoes, their accessories. I don't know. It's like the same shit as Armani and Versace. I don't like it. I just don't like it. It's not my aesthetic, and I've never seen anybody rock Dolce & Gabbana that actually look decent. Like, not a single fucking person. I can say that I've seen people rock Versace and looked good. I've never seen a single person rock Dolce & Gabbana and not look like a fucking dumbass. Like, I'm just spitting facts right now. And I guess the last brand I'm going to mention is Kenzo, a Paris fashion house. I don't know, again, I feel like it's just very much in the same realm as Armani or something like that. A lot of their clothing is just like the most generic type stuff. I'm sure like the quality is probably decent. I've never owned a piece, but none of it looks interesting. Like, the cuts are never interesting, the prints are never that interesting. Sometimes they do have a one or two interesting piece, but overall, just not a brand that I think is worth it. And it's pretty expensive too, and it's just not that good. It's just not good enough, I'm sorry. And I guess the last one I'll mention is Stone Island. Stone Island I just never really liked. First of all, it's associated with like far right, like dumbasses in Russia. You know, the football hooligan kind of subculture. Not a fan of those guys at all. And I don't know, Stone Island, again, I'm sure they're like high quality garments, maybe the jackets are decent or whatever, but overall, it's just literally the most basic clothes of all time that you put a patch on the side. There's literally basically almost nothing interesting to Stone Islands or their design. Again, maybe in the future I'm gonna see an interesting Stone Island piece I'm gonna want, but for now, I just don't see any value in it. Yeah guys, I guess that is going to be pretty much it for today's video. I just listed a couple of fashion brands that I don't like too much. I hope you guys understood my sort of reasoning and where I'm coming from. Hopefully none of you guys are offended because I just shat on your favorite brands. I'm sorry, okay? If I did, I'm sorry. Don't dislike this video, please. Yeah guys, I guess that is going to be pretty much it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching it. If you guys did enjoy it, slap that motherfucking like button on it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.